relationship,
Hello, my
matters
people.
of
Welcome back
diplomacy,
to Christy.
I don't know. But
So,
in
this
terms of
UK conservative leader,
specificity,
known as Kemi
such as
Bedenoch,
immigration,
refused to
law,
identify with
and
Nigeria.
immigration, I
She
know that
ignored
Nigerians will be
all
the
their
ones
calls.
that will be
This
worst hit by
particular
that, because
issue was
she
raised by
needed to do that to
Abike
convince
Dabiri.
the white population in
This
England
particular
that
news
she
was
is tough
published
on
on
immigration.
November
And
6th,
she has made that point clear
2024.
in her recent
They are
interviews
the
on
one that say
immigration. She
Nigerians
said,
go find
this
this
is her
lady's
belief.
problem.
The
Una
idea
they look for
that
person
people
when they
will
successful, when
migrate
they
to
outside
the
country will
United
come
Kingdom,
answer Nigeria.
but instead
Una
of
one content and
embracing
say
the
now una
United
make am they
Kingdom
go do
culture,
successful abi una they do
instead
what
of
thing. Now
integration, they
this
are
girl
talking
don't
about,
reply to this
there's this
man
concept they are
woto. You know
using. They
even
say
make do a
they prefer
mercy. No
integration and
mercy at
assimilation.
all. My correct people
Meanwhile,
them.
the Labour
This
Party, they are
Kemi
promoting what they
Badenoch has
call
been giving it
diversity.
back to
So, for example,
Nigeria,
she gave an instance.
exposing so
Somebody who comes
many
from the
kinds of
Middle East,
corruption.
become a
Even
British
recently,
citizen,
she was
he will hate
seen
British
bashing
way of
Nigerian
life.
police.
He will hate the
Not be
laws of the
smart, you
United
know.
Kingdom. He
Even
will want to
Daniel Biwala.
impose
Daniel
Sharia law
Biwala
that is
don
in the
dey
Middle East
praise
in the
this
United
woman.
Kingdom. She
He
said that
don't even
idea will never
respond
work.
because of
If you are
wetin this
ever
woman
going to
talk. Make
qualify
una
to become
watch
a British
wetin people
citizen,
talk
you
concerning
must
this
show
Kemi
that
Badenoch
you are
wey don dey reign
assimilating
since last
completely
week till
the
now.
British culture,
This in fact na
the
last week
British
this woman be
way
don
of
dey
life,
reign
the
because she
British,
was called
what
out
she
on
called
November.
fundamental
So
rights.
since that
You
November
know,
she dey
those
reign
rights
small small,
that
but
relate to
now if you
probably gay
enter
rights and the
app,
rest.
if you enter
Those things
X
have
app,
to be in
she dey
place
reign
before you
woto
can be
woto
eligible.
very very well. So
So
make
she
una
has
tell us in the comment
tougher
section
immigration
wetin
law
una
that will
got to
affect
talk
people. Remember,
concerning this Kemi.
Donald
Abi una
Trump
like
started
wetin
it
this
in his
Kemi dey
campaign.
talk.
But
Abi
when
una no
Donald
like
Trump
am.
became the
According to
president,
her,
he has had
she's
to
a
adjust.
proud
Look
Yoruba
at in the
lady,
recent
but
election,
she's not a
you saw all the
Nigerian.
things,
Una
you
get
heard all
it?
the things he said.
Do you
But
understand?
right now,
So
one
this
of
is
his
just to
appointees is
tell you
gay.
that
So
we
there are
forcing
certain
ourselves
things
to
she will
become
find
one.
out
Majority of people still want to
when
split.
it runs full
Do you
cycle.
understand
That
the
look,
thing now? So make una watch this
the
video to the
demographic you are
end
seeking
and tell
to
us in the comment
convince to
section
vote you
what do you
cannot be
have
the
to
only
say
set of people
about
that will
this
bring you to
Kemi
power. There is still another
blasting
half of the British
Nigerians
people
and
that you
the
will
way
need their
Nigerians
vote
are
who do
buttressing
not
what this
buy
lady is
this
saying.
deeply
I be
rooted
like say
hate
Davido, wetin
speech
Davido
and
talk for that
rhetoric that you're
interview
pushing.
past
So I
that
don't
he's
think it will be
passing there
justified.
really
But I know
opened
in
many
terms of
Nigerians'
immigration,
eyes to
Nigeria,
see
there will be
what they've
tougher
not been
immigration law
seeing.
against
And
Nigeria.
now they are
Already,
buttressing and supporting this young lady in
the prime
all the
minister that left,
affirmations you have
already
said
Richie
concerning
Sunak,
Nigeria.
when he
Nigerians are
introduced the
backing her up.
Rwanda law,
So tell
you
us
saw how it
what do you have to
affected
say? What is in
people
that
who
your
come
mind?
from
What
East
is your own
Africa,
opinion?
South Africa,
All this
and then
has
even
been
part of
trending.
West
What do
Africa.
you have to say? Tell us
They
in the
are
comment
touched on
section your
education.
opinion
So
at this
when they
moment.
do a relationship, matters of diplomacy, I don't know. But in terms of specificity, such as immigration law and immigration, I know that Nigerians will be the ones that will be worst hit by that, because she needed to do that to convince the white population in England that she is tough on immigration. And she has made that point clear in her recent interviews on immigration. She said, this is her belief. The idea that people will migrate to the United Kingdom, but instead of embracing the United Kingdom culture, instead of integration, they are talking about, there's this concept they are using. They said they prefer integration and assimilation. Meanwhile, the Labour Party, they are promoting what they call diversity. So, for example, she gave an instance. Somebody who comes from the Middle East become a British citizen. He will hate British way of life. He will hate the laws of the United Kingdom. He will want to impose Sharia law that is in the Middle East in the United Kingdom. She said that idea will never work. If you are ever going to qualify to become a British citizen, you must show that you are assimilating completely the British culture, the British way of life, the British, what she called fundamental rights. You know, those rights that relate to probably gay rights and the rest. Those things have to be in place before you can be eligible. So she has tougher immigration law that will affect people. Remember, Donald Trump started it in his campaign. But when Donald Trump became the president, he has had to adjust. Look at in the recent election, you saw all the things, you heard all the things he said. But right now, one of his appointees is gay. So there are certain things she will find out when it runs full cycle. That look, the demographic you're seeking to convince to vote you cannot be the only set of people that will bring you to power. There is still another half of the British people that you will need their vote who do not buy this deeply rooted hate speech and rhetoric that you're pushing. So I don't think it will be justified. But I know in terms of immigration, Nigeria, there will be tougher immigration law against Nigeria. Already, the prime minister that left, already Richie Sunak, when he introduced the Rwanda law, you saw how it affected people who come from East Africa, South Africa, and then even part of West Africa. They are touched on education. So when they do a comprehensive immigration reform, let me tell you the areas to affect Nigerians. Before now, if you're a Nigerian, you are traveling for masters in England, you're entitled to come with your family. They've stopped that. The Tories stopped that. It is only when you're going for PhD. She might come and even stop that or PhD. So the route to migration to England might just be one, highly skilled, which means it will close the window for people who will come into England to study and then leave, or somebody that will come through sports or whatever. So the immigration law will be toughened against the black people, and especially Nigeria, because she will want to prove a point that she is anti-immigration.
Okay, Daniel. She also touched on the politicians in Nigeria, saying that Nigeria is running a socialist state. If I remember, that's very clearly that's what she said. She said this is socialism, even though it's been disguised. And then she's lashing out at the politicians, saying that they've been amassing monies into their own pockets to the detriment of the growth of their people. She's very upset and very categorical about that. Daniel, is she wrong?
So, well, I would say she's wrong because she generalized issues. And you can't speak like that as a leader. If you generalize, so if we're going to generalize issues like that, we're going to say the United Kingdom is a shit hole country. Because the knife crime in England is far more than some of these crimes you see in Nigeria. And then you can escalate. They are even talking about double standards of policing in the United Kingdom, that the law is applied disproportionately based on race or based on gender or whatever. So the problem of corruption is in every part of the world. Corruption is deeply rooted in the United Kingdom. That you know how to use modern terms or modern styles of hiding corruption does not make your own. So it's like in the US, when you hear lobby, lobby, dig deep into some of the things they call lobby. They are not far from what in Africa we call corruption. So I think that she used a general term that is very disingenuous to people who are not susceptible to the things that she's. How can you say Nigeria is a socialist state? I mean, if you look at Nigeria, we promote free enterprise. We promote rights of ownership of assets and property. That's why we have the richest African as a Nigerian. You can't be the richest African as a Nigerian in a socialist economy or in a socialist state. And in fact, British is more socialist than Nigeria in the real sense of the word. Because if you see their welfare system, we don't run a welfare policy in Nigeria. People have to work their ass out the way people will put it in the in the loose word. You have to work your life out. In the United Kingdom, many years ago when I was studying, I used to have a friend who we were going to the gym before, and then he stopped coming to the gym. One day I asked him, I said, "Why are you not coming?" He said he just got a job in the warehouse, and that the job in the warehouse is more than gymming. That by the time he finishes for the day, that can suffice for him for 1 week. But he said the intriguing part of that is that all of them who were working in that warehouse were masters and PhD students. The supervisors over them were boys that did not go beyond secondary school, but they are British citizens. Is there any welfare something more than that, where they are giving council houses because they don't have jobs, where they tax everybody and give everybody everything? So if you are looking at it from the stricter sense of economics, I think that United Kingdom is more socialist than Nigeria. Again, this come to the issue of careless statements. So she will get to learn that. Either she will learn it early enough to be sharp as a politician ahead of the election, if it will happen in the next 2, 3, 4 years, or this might likely be her downfall politically. Because when the party becomes unpopular by virtue of this rhetoric, then definitely the party will decide a new leadership.
Daniel, what, in your view, should be the way forward to, if you will, get Badenoch off the hook, just so that she realizes her mistakes, if they are mistakes indeed, because her spokesperson says that she stands by her words. That's exactly what's the feelings that we are getting. But so if you were to give her some advice, what will it be for a way forward?
If I'm assuming I'm an advisor, the first thing I would tell her is everything has time and stage. Yes, you have a demographic you want to feed with this dangerous food so they can be strong enough, but they can also they can turn to be monsters tomorrow. And then two, the world has changed. The world has moved on. You cannot bring back medieval laws just because you want to win election. But above all, I will tell her, if she continue to flow in this path, it is very likely that it will get to a point where the party will revolt against her leadership and they will have to change her. That is what I see as, because it will come to a point where the Tory party, the Conservative, will be seen as racist political party. And once they are painted like that and the conversation continues to dominate the media space, then they will have to do something about that. And in this case, they will have to conduct another election. You know, in England, tomorrow morning, they can do another election, say the people don't have confidence in you. That's why over the last 2-3 years, they just 6 or 5 prime ministers. And the Tory party, they are very good at that. So she has to be careful. Otherwise, she may not live to see her dream, which is to become the prime minister of England. And she should also apologize to Nigerians, because Nigerians differ. To use one paint and brush a whole region of the country and then use the next paint and brush the whole country itself, it's wrong. She comes to Lagos every now and then for polo. If Nigeria is that bad that she's talking about, she can't be coming with her husband and her children, for God's sake. So, and if you, all you need is just to visit her past videos and the rest, you will see that there are a lot of contradictions. Probably what she's doing now is to deepen on this deeply rooted hate whatever that is seen in the Conservative Party.
Okay, Daniel, perhaps next time we'll be able to ask you this very important question, which is, what is the government, your government, doing now to try to, restore confidence in itself, and such that, number one, the Japa syndrome is totally off, and people feel comfortable living, working in Nigeria, making a living, and the likes. But this will be a good place to let it rest. I most sincerely thank you, Daniel Bola, the spokesperson of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and indeed the special advisor on policy and communications. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us, and to everyone who's been watching this. You can also watch it on our Facebook page as well as our Instagram page. We're going to have some parts of it on our TikTok page much later. We do sincerely hope that you're able to catch up with some of the hard facts that Daniel Bola has given us on this very issue of Kemi Bedenoch and her comments on Nigeria. Thank you very much indeed, everyone, for watching. And thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you.